I said that to illustrate how important sex is for men, where they will sit there on a date with a girl they don't like, endure stupid conversation with her, and talk to her for the potential of getting sex, to include spending money and spending time in something that isn't guaranteed. If that doesn't prove that men want sex to a higher degree, I don't know what else does.
But that was the point. Is like if a woman, like, he's looking for something, which is probably sex, and if he's going on a first date and he's not looking to actually be in a relationship with her, all he wants is sex, then he has to pay for that.
But the woman has a leverage, and she's the one that's taking his time and money, so she's in a predatory situation.
Then pay for it.
Taking his time.
What?
Then pay for it.
Pay for what?
The date, the leverage, or whatever it is. If the woman,
are you listening to anything I'm saying?
Not necessarily, really.
Okay. Look. If we're gonna have a conversation, you're gonna try to like rebut my points. You need to actually say. You need to listen to what I'm saying so that you can actually respond properly.
I was saying, if a
it doesn't matter what you're saying unless you're listening to what I'm saying so that you can respond properly.
I was listening to what you were saying.
What did I say then?
I'm telling you that if a woman goes on a date, she's looking for a. If a man.
What did I say?
I don't know. I'm forgetful.
Okay.
It's a literal problem. I'm forgetful. That you vouch for me.
All right. Well, look, if you're forgetful, that's your problem, not mine necessarily. So if you can't engage in the conversation properly, then maybe I should just move on to someone that can engage in the conversation properly.
Can I respond to your point?
Can I say something really quick? So then,
and please pay attention, because if you're going to hurt the quiet of the show like that, and
I wasn't trying to.
Well, you are.
I was trying to answer, and then you went and spoke to somebody else, so I lost train of thought.
Well, yeah, she was trying to come in and defend you, and she didn't do too much. So my thing is, if you're gonna come in and you're gonna be engaged in the conversation, like this isn't let me just talk to listen to myself talk.
I apologize.
Like, listen to what I'm saying so that you can respond properly. Stop interrupting me when I'm speaking, please.
Well, I apologize.
Okay. Well, you stop talking now.
Can I respond to your point?
About what?
About how women are like punishing men by using them on first dates and then they're not getting anything out of it?
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
Well, once a woman sleeps with a man, he has the power.
Yes.
So if you look at it through that lens and that dynamic, women need to hold on to the power that they do have in those early stages.
Yep.
And they need to be scrutinizing. Because if they go on a first date and they're like looking at it through a man's lens of, oh, well, he just spent $100 and I'm going to, I feel bad, so I'm going to sleep with him, she loses. So
I understand that.
So that's what I would say to your point.
So modern dating is basically a situation of a hostage negotiation.
Yeah, but you're missing the whole point that, like, overwhelmingly men are the ones that put their nuts on the line, their time on the line, their money on the line, their energy, their resources on the line to deal with women that don't necessarily like them and or even care to want to get to know them, whatever. What I'm trying to say is, like, guys will do all that in the pursuit of sex and hang out with a girl that they don't even like.
So here's what I think women need to do a better job at, because I know quite a few women who are dinner daters and they will go on multiple dates with a guy.
It's never going to change.
But what I think they should do, which I do,
is
if
you
know off the bat that you're not into someone, don't go on a second or third date.
Sure.
Now, also though, with men, if you feel like this is the best girl you could possibly get with, and you want to impress her because you think that will elevate your status, you like her femininity, then I think testing her and cheaping out on a date might be shooting yourself in the foot. Because if you see her value, you're going to want to spend money on her.
Wouldn't it be better for him to level up his game so she's not the best?
Look, no. Hold on. Most women don't have as much value as you're trying to purport, to be honest with you. The reality is men bring value to relationships, not women. Women are a dime a dozen. Most of them are attractive to a degree, and most of them are fairly similar. The problem is that a lot of girls think that they're special, and they think, I'm a dime a dozen, I'm so special, blah, blah, blah. The reality is you guys are not as special as you think you guys are. The things that you bring to the table that you think make you special, like status and a career no one gives a fuck about, and the things that men actually look for in women are scarce. Not being a whore, not being annoying, not being loud and obnoxious, not being all over the internet showing your body off, etc. This is what's actually rare, but women go ahead and covet things that men don't really value that much, and they think that's what makes them special, and it doesn't.
So can I say something? It sounds like when she was saying what she was saying, you were like, never going to happen, not going to happen.
Yeah.
It sounds
because women have the leverage, and they're not going to concede it.
Right. But it sounds like you're trying to save men from nature. Predatory behavior is not gender specific. He wants something, that's his nature. It is a high level of I want vagina. With her, it's a high level of I want protector, provider. That is the nature. And life isn't fair. We all watch Discovery Channel. There's that bird that spins for 3 hours trying to get the attention of that ladybird. And the ladybird says, maybe, yeah, or no. But it seems like humans are the only ones that don't understand. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Keep it pushing. But instead, you want to change change the nature of a thing. Women will never change.
Right.
Men will never change. It is not gender specific. The bird knows it, and he spins for 3 hours, and sometimes he doesn't get laid.
Yeah, but the problem is that
he spins again, and he spins
the problem
again.
is that he's spinning for a female who isn't going to be useless to what she's supposed to do. Women, right? Human women, a lot of the times, don't necessarily deserve the type of man that they think that they deserve, and they don't bring to the table the thing that men used to be able to get for all these things that you guys cherish and want in men. We used to be able to get a dutiful, submissive, good girl that wasn't a whore, that we could be rest assured that more than likely she had less than 3 body count by the time we married her, or a virgin. Like, yes, you're saying that since the beginning of time, that's how it's been and everything else like that, but it's not a fair deal for men anymore. So, and women, here's the thing. Women have a worse product. They're more whores. They're fatter. They're uglier. They're ruder, etc. And they're still demanding the top tier guys. So what I'm saying is like, yo, this is a losing war for you. You need to go ahead and come in and date more defensively and understand that women have changed and they're not necessarily going to give you what you think you want or deserve. So I'm telling guys what it really is.
Isn't it a
Well, I want
losing
to comment
war?
on this submissiveness.
And the last thing I'll say real quick, and I'll turn it to you, is I lost my train of thought. Go ahead with the submissiveness. It'll come
Okay,
back to me.
so women
Keep
have
up.
been submissive, and they'll
Wait, hold on.
cater-
What'd you say? Excuse me?
Didn't you tell me to keep up when I lost my train of thought?
I'm saying a million things right now. Running a show,
So?
answering questions, dealing with
That was
11 girls
happening
plus.
too.
Just get the fuck out of here, dude. Just get out. Just leave.
Can I say
Just
something?
leave. We're not going to lower the IQ of the podcast for you.
What
were you saying?
So on submissiveness,
Just leave. And I don't know what the fuck you think this is. Go ahead.
Wait, can I say
women
something real
have
quick?
catered to men. Women have catered to men, and sometimes the women don't get treated the same for even doing all these things. So why should women just effortlessly give it to this
Can I
man
comment
who
on that, though?
supposedly has value and brings something to the table?
Sure, you want to comment on that?
Well, I was gonna say, everybody, like, I've heard this thing, women have catered to men for years and years, but listen, okay, when women, but those men were also responsible for everything she did. Why, when a woman misbehaved or created like a family feud or something like 1800s, why did the men have to go fight a duel? They were the ones who shed blood for her actions. Like, the men were responsible. I mean, yeah, the women catered to the men, but also the men were held responsible for what they did. And
That's old school
I know,
premise. That's the
I know
old
what I'm trying to
school-
say, but I'm just saying,
No, I know exactly
with
what you're
the
trying to
rise of
say.
femininity and where it's gone, though, with feminism and stuff, I feel like it's important for people like Myron, who gives a voice to men that are in a hopeless situation. Like, where feminism is going, it leaves men in a hopeless world.
But what about women who
Where-
get trauma? They have trauma. There's domestic violence. There's abuse. There's
We
narcissism.
get that, but we've overcorrected for feminism now, where women have all the leverage. And there's
It's
nothing wrong with that.
it's almost about revenge now,
In
and
dating, women have all the leverage, and that's what I was trying to say. Like, the guy will go out on a date with the girl. He's still expected to adhere to his masculine duty of paying for the date, leading the date, planning the date, all this other stuff, right? But the woman isn't necessarily adhering to her feminine duties and responsibilities. He can rest assured that he's going to get a
They
girl
don't
that's
even
probably
know what
masculine
those
to a degree.
are. They didn't even know what the duties are.
Yeah, a lot of girls don't even know what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to behave. Like, he's going to go ahead and fight tooth and nail and be chivalrous to a woman that isn't necessarily a lady back. She's going to have bodies on her. She's going to be involved in maybe a profession or a career. She's going to be masculinized. She's going to have maybe a child, etc. These are all things that guys didn't have to deal with 50, 60, 70 years ago.
I think the problem is, like, most women expect the same treatment of the traditional treatment, but
20th
they don't
century
want to be
expectations.
traditional themselves. And I've seen it
Exactly.
a lot. Like, I mean, maybe it's a social media, like saturating my brain with it, but you see it all over, where it's like a woman's like, I'm a bad bitch, I'm independent, like, he better give me this, he better give me that, but I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to clean, I really actually don't want to have sex with you unless the dick is going to be to my satisfaction. But I do deserve this, I do deserove that, I deserve this, I deserve that.
You guys had a video when I was on there at one point, Fresh, when it was, I forget which one it was. It was on it was an Instagram reel, I think is what it was. And it was this exchange between this woman and this man, and the man was talking to the woman. He was saying, well, I'm not going to be the feminine, submissive, traditional, 20th century ideal woman for you until you measure up to my expectations, and then I'll do that. I forget which one that was, but the guy was like, so I have to be husband material first for you to even want to be wife material for me.
For you to think about if you're going to.
If you can find that video for me, I would love to
I don't
analyze
feel
it.
like all
it's
women
not a
have
fair
to be
trade.
the traditional woman. You can be a career.
But here's the thing, Liz. What you were describing is old school patriarchy, okay?
Yes.
Patriarchy is not a bad thing, okay?
There's a side to it that's not talked about a lot.
Well, and it's so there's a difference between androcentrism and patriarchy. Patriarchy is a much more balanced system than anybody wants to give it credit for, because in an ideal state, patriarchy implied responsibility, masculine responsibility. A man is responsible for his kids and for his family and for his wife and for the home and to keep the lights on and everything else, and to bust his ass and to sacrifice himself as your masculine duty is to sacrifice things and make sacrifice for that family. But there also came a commensurate authority that was along with that. So if he said, this is where we're going, this is where the job is, this is where the kids are going to go to school, this is what we're going to do, that masculine authority was implied because he had that responsibility. Today, guys are confused because we say, well, we can save the West and we can make men better men now if we just took more responsibility. And guys just man up and take more responsibility. But the problem is they don't have the authority to affect all of the things that responsibility requires of them right now. Yeah. So women are women on the other side of this say, well, I'm not going to be that submissive, wonderful woman that you want me to be until you're that guy who takes that responsibility.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
And you have no authority in the first place to be that guy.
There just can't be equal rights without equal responsibility. Equal responsibility. And I guess what I was trying to say is, women were...
There's no equality.
But men and women are not...
There's no equality.
We have different roles.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way women want it, is they don't want equality. You were trying to say something before, right?
I was.
Sorry.
I just wanted to say that I think that we are fighting nature. I don't think anybody's traditional anymore. I think that men are having a very difficult time with the quote-unquote modern woman. Life is not fair. You have to work harder for something you're not qualified for. Men and women have to do that. There are women that are not as attractive, and a man will make her jump through hoops or only want her for sex. Be that bird that keeps spinning. I am out. Thank you so much. On the block with Jen all week. Sisterhood
I disagree with you on that, and the reason
Okay.
why I disagree with you on that is that average women have more access to higher status men than they've ever had before, whereas men, on the other hand, are struggling to get average women. The average guy cannot attract the average woman right now, and the average woman, quite frankly, is useless and delusional and doesn't offer much value to men. Because here's the problem. We're still expected to play by rules from 1953 while women are playing by rules in 2023. Guys are expected to be traditional, masculine, strong, do all these things for them, but what are they fighting for? They're fighting for a woman that isn't coming to them pure like it would have been 7 years ago. So my thing is, men have to play by a certain set of rules that women want, but the women aren't bringing something back of reciprocal value.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. Thank you, guys. Good night. Nice meeting you.
I mean, that's an absolute fact that, okay, I mean, if you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah,
I feel like
we can agree to disagree. But thank you, guys.
I would like to
night.
Thank you.
Bye. I feel like there are wholesome,
Natty, can you
good
come sit over here?
girls